But hi, I'm Brenda. Hi, Zoomers again. I'm Brenda, and I've been with the Blessing Place almost at the onset, not in the beginning where they were praying over, they took for several months, I understand that they got together um, almost, I think, weekly to pray about what God was trying to, they were listening. They were trying to listen. And so I came along after they um, decided that they needed to form a team and, and all that. And so I was the original registrar, and I'm still here. And so that's my background with that. But don't you just love blessing prayer? When I, oh, is that better? Okay, so when I first came on the team, I was fresh into OSL, new into OSL, new into um, speaking actually in out in front of people because I grew up in a very legalistic background church that women did not speak, and so I don't know about you ladies out there or men out there, but when you're told not to speak, I mean, my mind wanders. I even fall asleep sometimes when they tell me not to speak. And so I didn't do a lot of, you don't practice speaking, you don't learn anything like that, and because I didn't practice. And so like I say, when I came on into the blessing place, I was at that point in my life just starting to say prayers out loud. And in front of a group, my oh my mind would just go blank. And Ed encouraged me to keep on, keep on. And I was like, no, I can't do this. And but God provided, and like Kim said this morning, I just kept going forward, kept doing it, and practicing, and with encouragement from everybody around me. And so, and I'm still learning, I'm still growing, and I, listen for examples from people, go by that, and one of these days, maybe we'll all be like Ditzy. Let's we'll just keep on keeping on. That's all, and it's okay because, like Ditzy said, you know, um, it's a very personal thing, and that's what I'm trying to learn: how to make it personal, and not personal to me, but how to make it down to earth. I didn't go to seminary. I don't, I'm not a pastor. I'm not a priest or anything. So I don't have that background, but just talk to the person, just talking and listening and um, sharing what you hear from God. So it's a wonderful place to be. So John asked each one of us if we could come up with a blessing story for his book. And so the story I'm going to share is one that I wrote for his book. And it's very personal. It's about my grandsons. And so I'd been on the board of the Blessing Place, a couple years. And I was, kind of proud of that I was on the Blessing Place and I was saying blessing prayers. And we have a small we had a small group at church that didn't we never talked about blessing prayers at the small group at church. Imagine that, right? And so one evening, and in the small group, one of the sweet little old ladies that was in our group shared that every morning she would wake up and she had pictures of her grandchildren pasted all over her refrigerator, and she would bless each one of them with the scripture in Numbers 6:24 through 26. And I thought to myself, wow, why didn't I think of that? I'm in the blessing place. Why didn't I think of that? But I was just that's such a wonderful idea and such a simple thing, right? Such a simple thing to do and think of. So immediately the next morning when I woke up, I got my phone out because I have a picture, and Ed's going to share a picture that I have on my phone of my my grandsons, Liam and Luke, and so I started blessing them, and and immediately the next morning, I blessed them, and I said this. This was my blessing. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face shine on you and be gracious to you. The Lord turn his face toward you and bring you love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, and self-control. And so I would look them in their eyes and pretend that they were standing right there, and I was getting big hugs from them. And, brought tears to my eyes just thinking about it. And I feel like that was the presence of God that I was feeling. So, so I did that every morning for about a week. And my son at that time in his life, he was working very long hours and, had a lot of things at home. He was just so busy. He didn't have time to snap pictures of the kids anymore. And they were getting older and they're not as cute anymore. So not as many pictures coming into Meemaw and Peepaw as we had when they were babies. And so it had been months that I had even gotten any kind of a video or anything. And so after a week of blessing them with this blessing prayer, I just randomly got this video showed up in my Facebook Messenger. And Ed's going to share it with you now, the video that I got. And mind you, the kids were in public school. They're in public school.
There is love like the ocean. There is love like the ocean in your souls. And then there is joy like the fountain. There is joy like the fountain. There is joy like a fountain in your souls. There is peace like a river. There is love like the ocean. There is joy like the fountain in your souls. There is peace.
Yeah, that was it. That's all the time he had. Yeah, a 40-second video for me. But I was like, wow, I was just so, thank you. Oh gosh, I just, my emotions were all over the place. That, you can imagine what I was feeling as a Meemaw and having that blessing prayer. And it was almost like immediately that he answered my prayer, because I was worried about, I'd been worried about my grandsons and my son. They haven't attended church for several years. And and they're still not attending church, but I'm still blessing them. And yeah, I think that's my blessing story. Let me see if I'm missing anything. Yeah. Okay, John. And if you want to read it again, it'll be in John's book. So